Happening now in a rare weekend session, state lawmakers are hammering out several gun control measures. A conversation that started yesterday afternoon around 1 and then picked up again first thing this morning.
Denver 7's Brandon Richard has been listening to the 8-hour marathon. Brandon, where do things stand at this moment?
Well, lawmakers in the House are in session right now here behind me as they continue to debate a series of gun control bills. You know, this is the largest package of gun control legislation they've seen in about a decade. And it comes as pressure mounts for lawmakers to do something to address gun violence. A rare Saturday session as Colorado lawmakers in the House continue debate over a series of gun control bills. They spent most of the day discussing a measure to expand the state's red flag law. Current law only allows close family members and law enforcement to file a petition for an extreme risk protection order, which allows police to seize guns from someone deemed too dangerous to themselves or others. The proposal under consideration would let district attorneys, teachers, and doctors file petitions too.
And I think the expansion in giving the ability to, whether it be teachers, whether it be, physicians, it's really important, right, in law enforcement to be able to do something if they see something and know something instead of tying their hands and the inability to do it.
The bill was proposed in response to local law enforcement in Colorado Springs not filing a petition against a suspected Club Q shooter, who at one point was arrested for making a bomb threat. Opponents, including many conservative law enforcement leaders, say the bill infringes on Second Amendment rights, and they say there's no evidence it would have prevented the Club Q shooting.
I don't think the red flags worked in Colorado. I think that a lot of the shootings that we've seen, the people purchased the firearms legally, and the risk protection orders, I don't think they would have mattered in a lot of these cases.
Lawmakers are also considering a bill that would let victims of crime sue gun makers, and another that would raise the minimum age to legally buy a gun to 21. The bills were under consideration well before Wednesday's shooting at East High School, which injured 2 school administrators. But after a groundswell of anger and frustration from students, teachers, and parents, some lawmakers feel an urgent need to act. And keep in mind, all of these bills already passed the state Senate a couple of weeks ago. Now, Republicans in the House have vowed to do everything they can to delay these bills, but they really don't have the numbers to actually stop these bills from passing, with Democrats in firm control of the House chamber.
Interesting, Brandon. And we know they stayed very late last night. Any idea how much longer the debate over these bills could last today?
Yeah, Jacqueline, that's really the big question, isn't it? They did stay until about 11 o'clock last night. We could see something similar happen again tonight. Seems like both sides are really dug in on this very divisive topic. We're live at the state capitol. Brandon Richard, Denver 7.